Hello, Year 9. So, moving on from the Truman Doctrine and Marshall Plan, we need to go back to the decision that the Allies made to split Germany and Berlin up into 4 different sections. So you need to go on to the lesson today, which is an event called the Berlin Crisis, okay, in 1948 to 1949. And I want you to just have a look at this photograph, first of all. You don't have to do any writing. I just want you to think. What can you see? What can you infer? What do you think this photograph is showing, basically? You don't have to write anything down. I just want you to think about it. Then your title for the lesson is, What Happened in Berlin, 1948-49, and What Caused It? It's always helpful to write down the key words as well. So, just a reminder that they decided at Yalta, and then confirmed it at Potsdam, to split up the different sections of Germany. So England would have a section, France, the USA, and the Soviet Union. And within the Soviet Union, there was, within Berlin, which is in the capital of the Soviet sector, they also then split Berlin up into 4, because that was the capital, or is the capital of Germany. Some points to know: people could move freely around Berlin. They could go into whichever area they wanted. The British, French, and American sectors ended up combining together. So because they were all west, and they ended up joining together. So what you ended up having was East Berlin and West Berlin. The Western powers wanted Germany's and Berlin to be about democracy. They wanted free elections, and they wanted the economy to do really well so that it would not fall to communism. So task 1, I want you to think, can you explain why Stalin, the leader of the Soviet Union, why would he be so unhappy with the situation in Germany? What do you think? And always, if you want to challenge yourself, do have a go at the challenge questions that are in the tasks. Can you predict how Stalin might respond to this situation? So this event is called the Berlin Blockade. Notice there are different routes into Berlin from the western sides. So Stalin saw Trizonia, which is the 3 sides joining together, and the new currency that they created as a direct threat and a further example of the West ganging up on the Soviet Union, trying to push the Soviet zone into poverty. This made him determined to stand firm and protect Soviet interest in Germany. He believed Germany should be one united country and it should be communist. So what he ended up doing was he blocked all the routes from the west of Germany into Berlin. So essentially none of these Western people can get into Berlin. He blocked all the roads off. Okay? What he basically wanted to do is he wanted Berlin to be completely Soviet. Okay? It's within the Soviet area, so he says we shouldn't have this little bit of the West in the Soviet zone. And he's trying essentially to force the Western countries to leave Berlin and to go elsewhere. So if it's successful, he would win a huge propaganda success. And then obviously, hopefully, he wants to become completely under the control of the Soviet Union. So, like I said, he blocks off land routes. Second task I want you to do is watch this clip, which includes some footage from the time. Then I want you to answer these questions. So task 3, you're going to need to read this sheet here, which explains what Stalin did, and then answer these 2 questions. The star questions are challenge ones. So if you want to challenge yourself, you'll find this too easy, then please do answer them. So the West knew that an attempt to force supplies to Berlin would be seen as an act of war because Stalin has blocked the land routes off. However, they very cleverly thought that, well, then if they cannot drive to Berlin, then they could fly to Berlin. Okay? They are pretty sure that Stalin isn't going to shoot the planes down. So that's essentially what they did. Okay, the Western countries, mostly America and Britain, actually flew food, coal, and other necessities into Berlin. Okay, particularly in the west of Berlin, but spread it out throughout the whole of Berlin. They even built a new runway there. This took place for nearly a year, about 10, 11 months. In the end, the Soviets realised that their idea of blocking the routes off was not working. It's called an airlift. You airlift in supplies. West Berlin had survived. Stalin looks, is defeated. This is a huge success for America. America's acted in a peaceful way, and it looks like Stalin is being too aggressive. So the task 4, I would just like your opinion. To what extent do you think was Stalin most responsible for causing the crisis? So just put which kind of number you think to task 4. Like I said, have a go at the challenge if you wish. Same with task 5. Truman overreacted to Stalin's blockade. How far do you agree? Which number would you be? And then have a go at the challenge. Any questions, please do email me, but you've got 5 tasks to do for today's lesson.